What is up, everybody? Welcome to Happy Hour, the best hour of the day. I'm trying out different catchphrases every week. One of them's bound to stick. It's me, the MonkMMATician. It's Lou at Lou Betya. What is going on, guys? Are you excited for the weekend like we are? I know you are. We have a very, very subpar UFC card that we can go over from a betting and DFS perspective. Just because the fights may or may not be the best that we've ever seen doesn't mean that we can't bet on them and make some lineups and win some money, Lou. Am I right? How are you feeling today? You ready to break down this card?
Yeah, it's weird. There's soccer balls flying all over the goddamn place right now.
True?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. I am excited to not have content for a week.
That's true.
This is my 11th video of the week between 3 sports.
Do my eyes deceive me, or you're either filming inside of a stadium or you got yourself a green screen?
Yeah, the soccer balls flying all over the goddamn place.
So many.
But look, it's a card. It's an early day card, and
yep.
I have literally no track bets at the moment.
Well, let's see if we can change that so you at least have something.
I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to do the show a little differently, Monk.
Oh,
I'm not trying to do a lot of track bets, if any.
Okay.
And I think this is the kind of card where
you go live.
It's going to be all DFS.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
So I'm happy to talk about bets that I like, that I think could happen. But really, I have some DFS perspectives on this card more than anything else. Before we get started, let me ask you a question about this.
Mm-hmm.
So my analysis, which is not professional like yours, I have 3 people in like the 74 and under range that I think I could play. And if you play any 2 of them, you can get to everybody else you like here.
True. There are some interesting dogs this week. Chase Sherman, I'm sure, is one of them that you're talking about.
And thank you, Sean, for this comment. We appreciate you, my brother.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But hold on. I'm not done asking you questions, Monk.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I cut you off.
So last week, I said on this show, in all fairness, as a joke, oh, is Trezano going to be the slate breaker?
Oh, for God's sake.
And then, Jesus Christ, he was the slate breaker.
He scored the second most points. Blanchfield outscored him by 2/100ths of
and what was his ownership?
Yeah, less than 10, I think. Around 10, maybe.
So how about we talk about not just how we're going to attack this card, but like, who is the crazy slate breaker? Because I'm telling you, I have one in mind right now that is going to break the slate in a win. And it's going to blow your mind. And it's going to blow the people's minds.
I love it. I absolutely love to hear that.
So I will
teaser, as we call it in the business.
I will give the betting angles I like, but I'd rather focus more on DFS.
Let's do it. I'm not going to argue with you there. And shout out the chat.
Let's go, son.
Shout out the chat. Everybody in the chat. Love to see you. Propaholic, Sean V, what's cracking? Kiwi, Go Flamingo, myself. What is going on, myself?
You're really shouting out yourself?
Yeah, on accident. I didn't,
Well, why not just shout out
the fast fingers.
Well, why not? I mean, can we just shout out the MMA Engine?
Let's shout out the MMA Engine.
It definitely wasn't me writing that. So, let's,
Well, first fight of the night. Let's get right into it, guys. And this one is crazy from a DFS perspective just because of the ownership that's projected. Natalia Silva going against newcomer Teresa Bleda. She is a DWCS alum. She scored very well in her DWCS fight, Lou. 5 points a minute, 104 in that win against someone named Nayara Maya. Silva did look impressive, getting an underdog win over Jasmine Jasudavicius. She was only 7,100 last time. Lou, I got a big problem here paying 8,900 for a second fight UFC prospect who only scored 85 points, going up against what could be some very tough competition. Lou, Silva's ownership is projected at 31%, Bleda at 23%. That is incredibly high, in my opinion. What do you think about this first fight of the night?
23% is a lot.
For Bleda, yeah. And 31 for Silva.
Which is way worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Way worse. Because, and this is a common theme here. Yeah, this is a common theme here. So, okay, great. Like, I don't know why the muscle has to go with that pick because I don't care how you feel about this fight in terms of like watching it, but this is a Contender Series fight. You have
Exactly.
played it with 6 professional fights, but really you're capping her on her Contender Series fight. And Silva, you're capping her on her fight against Jasuda Vicious because her tape before that doesn't make sense. You're really capping people on one 15-minute fight each. So I don't feel hugely comfortable here. I have no bet on this fight. And I'm going to be honest. Anybody that has a strong feeling on a betting perspective here is a lunatic. Because with the limited amount of tape on each, you really can't. So anybody
Right.
on it, like, that's like, yeah, this is the right pick. It's like, dude, like, then you're not a good gambler.
It could go either way. It could be dominant either way. It could be close.
If you want to have money on every fight just for the sake of doing it, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I'm not here to tell you not to do that. I'm here to say there's no way you can have an objectively strong opinion on either person with limited tape. You just can't do it.
Right.
Just bet the fight and be happy. But don't tell me one way or the other, like, oh, this her because of all these reasons. Like,
yeah,
really? Like, that's
the DK salary here is way off compared. She is Bleda is like, what is she? Sorry, I just pulled it up. Plus 140-ish on the on average. Her salary is only 7,300, Lou. That's a huge difference. I can't spot 8,900 on Silva. I don't understand how anyone could do it 30%. I'll be way under on Silva in this fight, and I'll probably be under on Bleda too, because like you said, we just don't know. I need somebody to prove it.
But
first fight of the night,
But this is an important point that Sean brings up. Like, that Bleda, her strategy is going to be.
See, you'd be higher on Bleda, but I'll still be lower on both.
And look, her ownership projection you gave me, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be shocked she's so high, because I don't think there's a lot of like good low-owned options, like low salary options this week. But the only thing I'm going to say about Bleda that I really respected is, yeah, her haircut was not great today. She was compromised in the 3rd round. Like, it looked like she had a leg injury in her Contender Series fight. And what'd she do? She took this fight to the ground in like the first 10 seconds.
Yep.
And fought on the ground the whole time. You love, at least the strategy is good. It means she's cornered well. It means her, like, or maybe she's just a warrior. I'm not betting this, but I'll give you a bet that, like, I might get to the window on just because it seems mispriced. Bleda in the distance is 6-1. And both her props, like the KO and sub, are both 11-1. I don't want to take either one here. But if she can bully Silva down, 6-1's like crazy, weird, good equity for what I think is still a low-level fight. Like, so no bet from a DK perspective, Bleda, and I may get to Bleda in the distance at what I think is a crazy mispriced line, to tell you the truth. I don't think somebody who's plus 140 in a low-level fight should be plus 600 to get a finish. Like, I don't. I just don't see it. Like, so
you ever seen Joe Dirt?
Yeah. Dirte. It's Dirte.
It is Dirte.
Now, like, Propaholic saying ground and pound, like, I don't, when both props are plus 1,100, but in the distance is plus 600, like, don't get greedy here with that. And I'm also not saying, like, go hammer this prop. I just think that it's super live and it's mispriced.
Yep.
Like, if Bleda gets the ground game going, it's very live. So
agreed.
But I'm gonna have some Bleda in DFS. I'll have no Silva, because even in a win, I mean, she may barely pay her 10x.
8,900. I mean, geez.
Like she may get you 89, 90 points, but there's a lot of people on the slate that I think are going to get like over 100.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, I think there's a lot of people on the slate that get over 100 that are way lower priced than her.
Yeah. 8,900 sounds.
Let's move on. Let's get out of this shit. Let's get to it. Let's get to a higher quality fight. I think I lost Monk. he looks so forlorn right now in his frozen image, like he's staring at my nips. Did I lose him? Hello? Okay. I'm going to get a backup plan for you guys now that Monk died. All right. I got it, guys. Don't worry about it. Monk definitely died. Yeah, he did. All right. Let's go. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? This is the Lou Betya show with 100% less Monk. I am sorry. Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom L312, made up name. Do me a favor. Suck it, pal. All right. Let's get to Fernie Garcia, Brady Highstand. I'm sure Monk will be back shortly. There we go. Let's look at this dude's mouth. And this other jabroni. I am not willing to bet this fight. I think there's a lot of DFS perspective that Highstand's aside because he has all these takedowns. Let me point out something very important about Brady Highstand that's going on in the radar this week. Let's look at his wins. Here you go. Here's his house, sure, an Ultimate Fighter. He beat Shade Sargent 0-12 at the time. And now he is 0-14. So, he hasn't improved. He beat Jeff the Coleman Coleman. Is that his nickname? Oh, King Fresh. Oh, look, he beat this guy. See this guy? See this guy? He beat this guy. I'm not impressed by beating that guy. He beat that guy. Great. Was 0-6 at the time. Now he's 0-9. He's from the Spokane School of Boxing and MMA. I assume he got a D-. And then he beat Jesse Jacobson 0-4. The Butcher Boy, which is a tremendous nickname. Oh, look, he's 0-5, but he's on a streak of 10 losses. So, yeah. Highstand's really beating really good guys. And I don't know why Sonic, who is tougher than the opponents that Highstand has faced, is getting in my grill right now. It's weird. But on the Fernie side, he's okay. The big knock on him, I mean, yeah, Sean, of course it means something. It means he's won the face-off. Yeah, he's beating janitors. Like, I wonder if Brady Highstand could beat Brady from DFS by the numbers. This fight plays out simply to me. People are assuming that Highstand's going to just get the takedowns going because of Journey Newsom got takedowns against Fernie Garcia. This has been the narrative all week. I don't think Journey Newsom's very good, but he's better than Brady Highstand. He's more experienced. The bigger problem for me is that he was shooting takedowns from 9 feet away on Fernie Garcia. And it's like if you ever watch pro wrestling, it was like an Irish whip. He whipped him into the ropes, and it was don't clothesline me. And then he got clotheslined. So I don't know that Fernie Garcia can read it, but it's, again, this is another no bet for me. If anything, I don't mind the shot at Garcia KO. Highstand looks hittable, and I can't stress this enough. He has never beaten a guy with 1 win. So I don't know why he's the steam this week, but if you feel like getting to him, I guess, but enjoy. All right, let's move on to a fight that I actually have a weirder, strong opinion on. Maria Oliveira against Vanessa Demopolis. And this is another one where I'm against MMA Twitter. Hold on. Let me let Monk in the room.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let me before we move on, let me just, hey, what's he good at? I just told you, he's good at boxing. He's good at punching people in the face. And when he's facing a guy that A, has no striking defense, and B, doesn't like getting hit in the face, I like it. And I missed this comment before. What are the chances you think Garcia can KO Highstand? I'll make this simple. If Highstand has solved any deficiencies in his takedown defense, Highstand has no plan B. DFS, objectively, he's probably the guy. I understand it. But why can't Fernie punch him a lot? So, Monk, you want to give an opinion before you moved on?
I just want to say Brady Highstand is 40% projected ownership, so do with that information what you will. I got to see more from Fernie. Right now, he's only 13% owned, so I'll probably be over the field on Fernie. And I haven't decided about Highstand yet, but
his win equity is a KO. That's the thing. Like his
exactly. Yeah, I don't like Fernie here, but I mean, you'd have to be over on him, and I don't know what I'm going to do about Brady.
I got a few I like on certainty that are low priced. I got a few, but you got to hang in here. You got to hang in here. Yeah, where's your stats so we don't have to do
you don't want to look at Sonic?
Oh my god, he's like destroying my fucking vagina. Oh shit. No, I meant to add that. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, third fight. Sorry I dropped out there. It seriously just turned off on me. Maria Oliveira going against Vanessa Demopolis. Lou, what do you think? I'll go ahead and start this one. Ownership is weird on this fight. 18% Oliveira. You already did? Okay. 18% Oliveira, 29% Vanessa Demopolis. I'll probably just do the right thing and be under on both sides of this one. What did you say about this one?
Are we talking about every 90s movie ever? Did you just pull Do the Right Thing?
What did I say?
Are you pulling Do the Right Thing?
Oh, out? Yeah.
See, I understood that. Yeah. I mean, first of all, stop with the muscles, dude. Like, not every bet needs to be like
you got to show him off.
But why is every bet like he'll get older? He'll understand. Like, he's a kid. But like, why every bet? Not every bet needs to be like, Brr! Like it's, dude. We're talking about like the lowest level bullshit fights ever. Like why is this like? I don't care if somebody goes 10-1 on this card. Like, I don't care. Like, you're not a sharp. It's weird. Like,
this card is fucking bad.
But like, it's just not a great card. Like, it is what it is. But like, don't be like, there's no like flex on this shit. Like, if anything, they're the best. You want to talk about like equity? Oliveira KO at 8-9-1. At least is worth a poke because Demopolis' striking defense is terrible. And the narrative on MMA Twitter is, well, Demopolis is just going to wrap her up in subs and like do all these things. It's like, cool. You know how many takedowns Demopolis has in 4 fights?
How many?
One.
You know what her accuracy is? 8%. 8%.
So why is the narrative that the person with the better reach is going to get taken down when she can
better reach? Oh, you mean 10 inches more?
When she could just pepper Demopolis with fucking shots. Like, I think Oliveira KO is super live here at crazy odds. I don't understand it. Like, look, but it's another fight, like the first fight. We're capping on 15 minutes each. We're capping on Demopolis beating Jinyu Fry. And I had Demopolis by decision. So, like, I didn't hate the result, but I think I won that one. Against Oliveira, who looked good in one fight against Gloria DePaula, who stinks. So, again, I don't know how anybody can like feel good here. So if you want to bet this fight, Oliveira KO at 9-1, just have fun with it. Like, why would I be heavily invested in this?
That's true, Sean. Demopolis never been knocked out, but I'm pretty sure she was close against Silvana Gomez. Didn't Silvana crack her and then end up following
and then armbar? And they got armbar.
And then she put herself in an armbar. That's right. So, if anything, I'd be over on Oliveira for the knockout potential, but yeah, I'm not in on Demopolis this week.
I mean, in all fairness, like Sean brings up a good point, but like in all fairness, Demopolis is not facing people that like Jinyu Fray has knocks nobody out.
Right.
And throws like 3 punches around. At least Oliveira, her volume is good. Like, so if you're hittable, I don't know, man. If you ask me if I have to cap on 15 minutes, who looked better their last fight, it's Oliveira by a mile. Like, and look, it doesn't mean go get heavily invested, but massive reach advantage against somebody who's literally landed one takedown in the UFC. Give me the striker. So
For sure.
I'm going against MMA Twitter on this. And like, look, in all fairness, what's MMA Twitter? Bunch of dudes that have never been laid in their lives.
Yeah, it's about
They're
to close
like,
shut
I'm
down
betting,
anyways, right?
I'm betting the girl. I mean, like, and by the way, calling them up a stripper is kind of like an asshole thing. She apparently has quit stripping.
Yeah, for a couple fights now.
Right, but that means she was awful at stripping. Because if she was, because I'll tell you right now, if she was good at stripping, she ain't quitting that.
No, I think you make a good deal of money doing that.
She'd be making a baller living, bro.
Well, next fight, man, Ricky Turcio. Yeah, please
let me start this off because I never got a smoke. It took me 6 minutes to cross the street, like I was Frogger from the game Frogger.
Yeah, I heard of that one.
So I'm not betting. I don't want any part of this DFS. Sort of. I think Natividad is the sneaky low-owned guy this week.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate Tercius from a DFS perspective. I also hate his face.
His voice.
I hate everything about
the things that he says.
Yeah, like I hate that he's like all of it. Natividad, at least from a DFS perspective, he hasn't shown it in his one, the dude's shown some takedowns on regional tape.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets to finish, but it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think it matters here. The only problem I have getting to him is his salary is higher
too
than it
high
should be because Tercius
sucks
so bad. but
against Amon.
But that's what's killing the salaries here. So but I don't think. What's your projected ownership for Natividad?
It's listed at just 12% to 29% for Tercios.
I kind of think if Natividad, even in a loss in a competitive decision, might be like one of the better low-owned guys.
Yeah, I think he does more than 1.13 points a minute, which is all he's averaging so far. That's mostly against the Miles Johns fight. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You can't play a ton of Tercios. You really can't feel comfortable. I mean, the showing against Amon Zahabi, like we said, this dude landed 27 strikes in 15 minutes. That's 1.8 per minute. Zahabi barely throws any, and he doubled up Ricky Tercios in this fight. So just like Lou said, not a good look, and everybody's got that in their mind, and he's still 30%. So I think the way to play this for me personally, I'll be under on Tercios. Like Lou said, he doesn't want any part of this fight. I tend to agree. But if I do have some, I'm going to be over on Natividad, and at 12%, you can go to 20, 25% and be just fine. So still, that $7,600 salary is a bit much. If he was 73, 74, it'd be a bit different, but 76 is just it's gross kind of this week. Next fight, Miles Johns going against Vince Morales. Miles Johns coming off a loss to John Castaneda, that tough dude, John Castaneda, and Vince Morales coming off a loss to another tough dude, Jonathan Martinez. This fight, 8,400, 7,800. Very low output guys in DraftKings so far. Johns with 57 minutes of fight time. Morales with much more than that, 86 and a half. Only 77 points each of them is what they average per win. They only give up 80 and 85 points per win. I do not expect a ton of scoring in this fight just based on trends like that. Neither one of them scores a ton of takedown points or control time points, which is what we bank on for DFS. Their ownerships, again, almost the exact same as the last fight. In fact, I think it is the exact same, Lou. 29% for Miles Johns, which is way too high, I think. 12% for Morales. So maybe you throw some more ownership on Morales and lower it on Johns. But I mean, their history would tell you that this one is not going to make the optimal lineup, even though there have been 4 finishes in Miles Johns' last 4 fights. Not once has anyone made the optimal lineup. Natividad, he finished 81 points. Finished Anderson Dos Santos 87 points. So there's just no points outside of the Vince Morales beating Smolka, scoring 110. There's no points in these fights. So if you want to take a risk, go over on Morales, but I'm not interested really in this one for DFS, Lou. What do you think about this one?
Hold on. I'm asking Elon Musk if I can still hate Gianni with his new policy.
I'm pretty sure you can. He leaves that in.
It says negative hate tweets will be max deboosted, demonetized. I don't make any money off this platform.
Yeah,
I just want to know
there
if
you
I can
go.
still tell Gianni he is, as the Iron Sheik would say, "You're a piece of shit, motherfucker."
I think you can.
Well, then I don't give a shit. I'm going to go contrarian against you here.
Oh,
And
you
that's
like Miles
because,
Johns?
well, you know Pat? You know
Yeah,
how he's 300 pounds and built like a Sherman tank?
yeah.
He scared me and he intimidated me and he threatened me. So
So now you're backing Miles Johns?
well, I actually like this fight to be a finish. So I won't like crazy analyze this. Miles John's coming on short notice. He's
True.
weirdly disappointing, but also
Yep.
a lot of his fights end in the third round. So I have a prop on this fight to end in the third.
Oh, interesting. How come?
How come they end in the third round?
No, how come you put a prop in on it? Because it pays more?
Maybe. But Morales, the last time Morales fought was against Jonathan Martinez, and it was on this very show. I said I had Morales by bonk at 9-1, and I said this fight ends one of two ways: Morales bonks him, or he gets leg kicked to death, and he got leg kicked to death.
Yep.
I'd take that bet every day of the week, though, because I mean Jonathan Martinez like could get bonked. I feel like this fight, like I'm big on fight doesn't go here at even money. I think Miles Johns, especially coming in on late notice, like his cardio is not great to begin with, and then Morales can't defend leg kicks.
Yep.
So they both have like this crazy liabilities on both sides. But I favor Johns just like in a vacuum that he's like the better fighter, because I think Vince Morales like kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And he's another guy. He's like too busy on Twitter to be like, dude, can you like, you're in camp, right? Like, just can you not be on Twitter like all the time? So for the sake of the show, I'll pick Johns. But I think Johns gets like a late finish here. So I think at his salary, he's like not horrible. Like I'll never get to Morales because Morales is like 100% KO dependent.
Mm-hmm.
If Johns goes to takedowns, which he has in his arsenal, he could pay off his salary really easily, even in a decision. But I'm not going heavy on him.
Yeah, good call. I mean, like we said, even in the third round finishes that he has before, he doesn't even crack 90. So yeah, not somebody I'd really like to target a ton of. Next fight,
one's for you. That's for you, Monk.
Nice. He is due. Fucking Yanni. Jennifer
Fucking
Maya.
Tom. Fucking Tom.
Exactly. Jennifer Maya. Marina Moros. I mean, man, I was kind of heavy on, not heavy, but I was favoring Jennifer Maya early in the week, but I don't like this fight for DraftKings either. I don't think both ownership sitting at 21%. What do you think about that? 7,200 for Maya, 9K for Marina Moros.
So this is an overreaction to Moros beating up my homegirl,
Agapova, yeah.
And taking her down and that was like the worst bet I ever made because because the second like Moros walked out and this was like right at the beginning of the war.
Yep.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, I bet against the Ukrainian chick.
Yep.
Who hates this crackhead. And
crackhead.
Like every part of that bet was just like so stupid and bad. Like that, like there are simp bets, and then there's that. And that was like the bet where I'm like, I deserve to lose my money.
That's true.
Taking a poke here. But that being said, Jesus Christ. And like Moros, like 9,000, man, dude.
That's crazy.
Well, you have so with this salary, you have to assume that like she's gonna just maul her again and get takedowns and like. Don't you think this is just kind of like a boring decision result?
100%.
Yeah, this is a fade for me completely. Hold on, you heard it here first. Silva by Aaron Blanchfield. Oh, I mean, what's up, Herc? I mean, I don't. All right, that's interesting. Like that's. I love me some late round props. All right, brother.
True, I do as well.
I love that kind of bet. I just think this is like I'm staying away from this completely. Like, and
Same.
the Moros is a little wide, but DFS wise, I hope people overrun Moros here.
Agreed. I think they will be because they see that 9,000. They see that she's a huge favorite, and they see that Jennifer Maia has lost 2 in a row. But the fights, dude, she's 2-3 in her last 5. She's lost to Shevchenko, the better one, Caitlin Chukagian, and Manon Fiorot. Like, these fighters are no joke. Like, tons of people lose to those fighters.
Chuk is the GOAT
all the time. Yeah, exactly. So tons of people lose to these fighters. And even if Maia wins, what that's going to be a greasy decision. Like somebody said earlier this week, she has wrestling, but she just doesn't use it. It might have been Brady that said that. So you can't rely on that. They're going to stand up and bang, 3-round decision. Not interested. This one I might be interested in a guy at 7,500. I'm not sure yet. Zhalgas Zuma Gulaf going against Inner G Charles Johnson, man. Zhalgas is 5'4". He's 7 inches shorter, 4.5-inch reach disadvantage. Scores well. Overall, 2.5 points a minute, but 94 when he wins. We don't know anything about Charles Johnson except for he survived against Mikhaev for 15 minutes. His cardio is not bad. He just wasn't able to do anything. So a lot of these points I'm throwing out, like the 1.16 points a minute, allowing 6 points a minute. Like that's pretty much the floor and the ceiling to Charles Johnson. I don't think he's going to hit either. He's going to be between those numbers in this fight for sure. But 8,700, he's 2K more than he was against Muhammad Mikhaev. I can't get to that at all. As of now, the ownership on him is 22%, 24 for Zuma Gulaf. So, man, I wanted to go over on Zuma Gulaf, but 24% already seems kind of high. Zuma Gulaf has some takedowns and control time points he's displayed. That's what I'm interested here against Charles Johnson. Is he going to dominate Johnson like Mikhaev did? Probably not, but that would be nice to see. And it'd be nice to see Zuma Gulaf maybe win inside the distance since judges hate Zuma Gulaf. So you don't want to see him lose another decision because if that's the case, he's probably out of the UFC. So that's kind of how I'm going to play this one. Maybe a bit over on Zuma Gulaf. I don't know about Charles Johnson, man. 8,700 seems like a lot for him. What do you think about this one?
Well, I don't know how you roster this fucking fight. Like,
right? It's
because I already have a bet on
I'm begging for somewhere to bet. That's why I'm saying over on Zuma Gulaf. Otherwise, it's nothing.
Well, I already have a bet here.
What do you got?
Oh, I bet this fight to end in split decision at plus 400. and I bet both guys to win. Zuma Gulaf is like plus 1,100 split decision, or was. I mean, he's just like reaching.
Yeah.
He's like, seriously, this is like Couch Warrior all over again with these nonsense props. It's like just to do it, like to hit one out of like a million is like great. I mean, how do you bet round 1 KO here? Whatever. That's his show, not mine. I mean, what do you expect here? Like Zuma Gulaf fights a style that judges hate.
Yep.
But I have to bring up a very important point here. Guys went 1-3 on his run in the UFC, and then they extended his contract.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Because they know that he beat Madalena. Like they know he won that goddamn fight.
Right.
So, look, Charles Johnson, if you look at his tape, he's okay, but he wins fights where people fight the exact style of fight he wants to fight, which is just like, let's like have no defense and fight.
Right, because I'm sure he's always the taller guy. He always has the longer reach in this division, so I'm sure he's just that's how
But Zuma Gulaf, like things. At least is like trying to mix in takedowns and like
right.
I think he's like a work in progress, but like really, Charles Johnson's not that good.
No, I think Zhalgas should be able to win, but I mean, who the hell knows? This is
I mean, this is
a seemingly low level fight.
It's like a total fade for me from like DraftKings, but I bet the split decision props here. Like 400 to go to split. Charles Johnson's 800. Zuma Gulaf was 1,100 last time I looked. Like, yeah, just bet this fight to be shitty.
Yep.
And root for the split screen. Like the over 2.5 minus 250. Like, I mean, and neither one fights like some appealing, crazy style.
No.
So no exposure here in DraftKings. If anything, it would be Zuma Gulaf.
Yep.
But I don't want him
exactly.
I don't want to roster a guy getting like 3 takedowns and like a minute of control time and no strikes. Like I don't.
No, you're gonna end up with 70 points then either way.
So I'm off this one like completely.
For sure. Well, let's move on now onto the main card, where it's the first fight that is lined to finish inside the distance, and in fact, the first of every fight on the main card to finish inside the distance, I should say. Jack Della Madalena going against Danny. Excuse me, Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts here. Madalena, the terrible salary of 9,600. Danny Roberts extremely cheap at 6,600. What are your thoughts on this fight? Because ownership right now, it's very obvious. Madalena 54%, no matter the salary, and 4.1% for Danny Roberts.
Yeah, even that seems high. But no, this should be one-way traffic. Like, I don't disagree with anybody here. I think Jack Della is going to wreck this fool. Now, but I'm very curious at your opinion here, solely because of what he's priced at.
Right.
And tell the people why.
Well, the salary voodoo is bad on this one. The salary, let's just go to it, Lou. Why not? If I could find where it's at.
Della by violence, but
here you go. This is his line here. So the $9,600 salary has been used 13 times. It's only made optimal twice. 2 times. That is it. The same amount of times as the $6,600 salary. These two are two of the worst salaries to play overall. But then again, it's only 13 fights. We just don't have a ton of data to back that up. But still, 2 of 13 is a bad run. That said, usually you have to score about 120 minimum to make the optimal at this salary. Can Jack Della do it? I mean, it would take. You would probably want a ground and pound. What you don't want is, you'd want a win in the first minute. That would do it. But after the first minute, you wouldn't want just a one-hit knockout. You'd want him to drop him, get you 10 points for the knockdown, then follow it up with like some ground and pound. Danny Roberts somehow avoids it, gives up his back, turns back over to his friend, just gets ground and pounded out. Maybe then you could get a 120, but 54% ownership, Lou? I don't know if I can get to him that much at 9,600, man. At that point, the contrarian in me says just go over on Roberts, like 12, 15%. Even if he wins by decision, somehow he could make the optimal lineup. Who knows? Someone made the optimal lineup. Candelario made it at a very low salary and losing a fight 2 weeks ago. So anything's possible. And if Madalena doesn't finish this dude like in the first minute, he might not hit that 120 mark. So I don't know. 54% is a good number. What do you think about that?
Well, that's the whole idea of playing these tournaments is like you have to plant your flag and you have to take a stand, and you have to have some lineups without him.
Yep.
But
yeah, this should be, like you said, one-way traffic. It's going to be a miracle if this goes to decision, but even if this goes to the second round somehow, Madalena is probably not making optimal at 9,600. So.
And he's not getting a lot of takedowns. Like,
no,
your whole equity here is that he's coming out and just smoking this fool
in the first minute. You need him to win in the first minute.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but you saw against Amiv, like
if he scores like 105, I don't know if he's going to make it.
That's fair, but you saw against Amiv that like he can actually mix in some wrestling.
True, he did score 117,
but
against Pete Rodriguez in the third minute.
But let's not kid ourselves. He's not going for takedowns proactively here,
right?
So if it's on the ground,
could be interesting. So yeah, I just don't know how comfortable I am with that 54%. Here's another one that I might have. Man, even these numbers are crazy. Salikov going against Andre Fiallo. Salikov, 38 years old, 10 years older than Andre Fiallo, even though it looks like they're the same age. Salikov, 8,300, 7,900 for Fiallo. Somehow the ownership, 16% for Salikov, 27% for Andre Fiallo. That kind of makes me change how I want to play this fight. How are you going to look to play this one?
So we talk about planting our flag and being like whatever.
Yeah.
I'm being contrarian here. I don't like this fight at all.
I could see that as an option. Yep. For sure.
Yeah, I think this fight goes the distance. I actually like Salikov by decision.
It's not bad.
I think that Fialho, like people are looking at these fights with him and it's like, oh, they're all wars and like they are, and I understand it. But the problem I have here is that they're both coming off knockouts. Like Fialho is only good in fights where people will fight his fight. Like you look at like all right, we can go to the Cameron Van Camp fight for a second.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
But like Van Camp rocked him, and it's like, but why did he rock him? He rocked him because Van Camp was like, I will gladly fight this like stupid bullshit war with you. No, like that was the fight that like.
Yep.
So you look at like, and then the Baeza fight, like, and Baeza, like, yeah, he doesn't look great now, but Baeza's whole thing was like, let's stand and bang, and Fialho does really well there. You look at Salikov traditionally, and Salikov is a guy who's like, cool, let's hang it like in the pocket.
Yep.
Like let's like let me like pick you apart from the outside. And I think that's the kind of fight that Salikov's going to try to fight, especially coming off a KO loss.
Agreed.
So for me, I actually go contrarian here, and I'm going to be crazy under-owned, like to the field.
Yeah, they're at 43% total. What do you like 10, 20% total for you?
If even that.
If that, like, yeah. I don't mind that.
And I get people siding with Fialho here at the salary, but like
it's not that low.
But also, like, here's the problem. He stinks.
Right.
Like, he does. Like
Cameron Van Camp touched him, like you said.
But like again, if you watch his tape even before the UFC, his best fights are the ones where people engage in like the exact kind of fight that he wants to have. And I think that Salikov won't.
Yep.
Like, why did Salikov lose last fight? He won the first round. Like, I don't know why people are like forgetting this. He won the first round. And then the leech caught him. Like, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't think he's a worse fighter because of that. Like,
no, I agree.
So I think this line is recency bias. So that's all I got there.
I love it. I don't mind that take at all. This one I'm interested to hear, though. Chase Sherman going against Waldo Cortez Acosta, coming back just 21 days, 3 weeks after his first his debut UFC fight. Chase Sherman 4-9 in the UFC, 7,100 this week, going against 91 for Cortez Acosta. I wanted to play a bunch of Chase Sherman, Lou, and this one we might disagree on a little bit. Chase Sherman sucks, man. Don't get fooled. He fought Jared Vanderaa last. Jared Vanderaa might, now that Hunsucker's gone, might be legitimately be the worst fighter in the UFC for sure. $7,100 is very cheap for Chase Sherman, and I understand anything can happen at low-level heavyweight, blah, blah, blah. Waldo Cortez Acosta does not have good tape, whatever. Might not be worth $9,100. I might be under on this one, man. I don't like it at all. But Chase Sherman, though, only 16% owned. Waldo Cortez Acosta, 33%, so more than double what Chase Sherman is at. I know I have to have so much Chase Sherman to make my lineups work in general, but I mean, I guess I'm going to have to be over the 16%, maybe 20, like I said, just to make lineups work, but I'm not going to be happy about it, Lou. I don't think he wins this fight. I just think Cortez Acosta probably gets it done here against Chase. What do you think? Yeah, exactly, Tom. Exactly.
Well, you know what makes the show fun, Monk?
What's that?
When we disagree.
I knew we would, and that's okay.
And I'm going to literally have 100% exposure on this fight to Chase Sherman.
100% to Chase Sherman.
He's 100% going to be in all my lineups at his salary.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, oh my gosh is right. I'm just proving I've learned nothing from you over the time we've spent. So the question is why, right?
Yeah, that is the question. Why?
Or are you just like, I give up and I'm quitting the show immediately?
No, not at all. Because if it hits, then you're golden. 16% ownership.
So when I broke this fight down, I broke this card down. A couple of things are important here. Number one, when I broke down the Acosta fight with Brady in Kender series, and his first comment was, "Oh my goodness, like we have to like tape this fight."
Oh yeah, because it's so bad.
Now, here's the more important thing: Acosta fought 3 weeks ago on Sherman or against Vandera. They're the same guy. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, Vandera is so fucking bad.
But Acosta's coming off a 3-week turnaround where he got leg kicked a lot. And
True.
I don't even care who he's fighting. I'd bet the other guy. If he was fighting like Hunsucker here, I'd actually take a look.
Chase Sherman does land the second most leg kicks in the division.
And that's important here because I think that I feel like Sherman can do enough to stay out of trouble early and like kind of wear on him. Like how many people, I forget, this might have been, I've done so many shows this week. I can't remember where I said this, but like how many times have you seen somebody do the quick turnaround and all of a sudden be amazing? It doesn't happen. Chris Lieben did it. Like, I feel like those leg kicks haven't healed. And I think that Chase Sherman can kind of leg kick him. And like, I would have bet Sherman round 3 KO, but it's only 18-1. And I say only 18-1 because against Vandera, it was like 50-1. It was bananas.
But so how many rounds does it take for him to kick his leg to the point of getting a finish? Because even if he does that, I mean, is he gonna score? I guess it doesn't matter at 7,100. If he gets the win from leg kicks, then he's probably going to be close to optimal.
Well, if we're talking about like he could be round 3 KO. Well, as far as I know, I'm not saying it. Look, like we talk to the people about like what makes you optimal, and a lot of what we say is takedown equity, and I get it, and that's the truth. The problem is we're talking about a slate where like there's not a lot of good low salary options.
True.
So I say, can he get a win?
I mean, yeah, he could.
Okay.
He doesn't do it a lot, but it has happened before.
so my question is this. In a win at his salary.
Oh, yeah.
He pays it off, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, that's all I need. Like, you gotta take a stand on some of these guys, and like, so I'm gonna give me Chase Sherman to like find a way to actually get a late finish here.
There you go. You just hope that Cortez Acosta isn't packing something in his punches. I mean, Sherman has been KO'd 3 times.
I get it,
in
but
the
like
UFC.
But if there's one thing Sherman does, it's leg kicks. So
true. And he's not the world's dumbest fighter. He's actually shows signs of decent fight IQ.
He's not dumb.
So.
He's limited.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to put it. So that is possible, man. If he follows that game plan, then I totally would agree with you. So I'll have to figure out what I just
Shermanator.
Like, who said it? I hate that
Shermanator
on the fight. Ugh. Speaking of guys I don't want to roster but have to, Ian Kuntalaba going against Kennedy Nchukwu. 7,400 for Kuntalaba, 88 for Nchukwu. I hate everything about this fight. You have to roster Kuntalaba because
you hate it, but also you don't hate it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You I mean, he's 5-7-1 in the UFC. Chukwu's 4-3. You have to roster Kuntalaba because he's cheap. He has huge round 1 finish equity, and he's one of the best DraftKings scorers on the entire card, especially when he wins, guys. I mean, he's averaging 110 per win, 4.23 points per minute, no matter, if he wins or loses. He has looked pretty bad, losing to Ankalaev, Spann, and Johnny Walker. That Johnny Walker one was not pretty. Ryan Spann maybe, possibly starting to do better here on the scene. He did beat Devin Clark, but, man, Nchukwu with wins over Roberson, Marquez, and Olberg. The Olberg one's probably the best out of the bunch. I mean, he did look good against Roberson. Lost to Nicky Gums and Da Un Jung.
Say it right. You said Nicky
Gums.
Nicky Gums.
Nicky Gums, baby. Pew, pew.
Can I give a shout out to my dude Magic?
Absolutely.
He has a nickname for Nagumariano that nobody uses except a couple of us that I love.
What's that?
He's the Transylvanian Pain Train.
Oh, yeah, I do like that one.
That's such a good nickname. Oh, thanks, Tommy. We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, big shout out, big ups for Sherman. We'll keep him in our prayers for sure.
Is my voice loud enough to carry if I move 5 feet?
Probably.
All right.
If I was a betting man, I would bet on it.
All right. I'm going to leave the camera on and I'm going to give analysis from like over there.
Sounds good. Yeah.
When you're done with ownership.
No, I'll finish it off with ownership, which is 26% Kuntalaba, which is surprising since he is salaried so low. And then 32% for Kennedy and Chukwu. Man, I don't know what to do about this one at all. What do the stats say before I pass it off? Let's see here. Where are we at? Yeah, barely. You sound like you're kind of around the block.
How about now?
I'm sure they could hear you. They probably won't like it. But yeah, so
I'll be right there.
I'll be pretty close. I'll be pretty close probably. I mean, maybe I'll probably have to have more Kuntalaba because I do want to get to some of the more expensive fighters this week. And he is so cheap. And like I said, has probably some of the best round one equity on the entire card. Kennedy, I don't know what to do with him. His average is 81.73 per win. But in his last, he scored 106 against Roberson, 113 against Olberg, 57 against Marquez, and he knocked out Marquez in the third round and scored 57 points. So what do you do with this guy? Who knows? 8,800 is kind of a cursed salary, but yeah, I just don't know what to do about this one, man. I guess I'll be over on Kuntalaba and maybe about where Nchukwu is. What do you think here? Because either guy, I mean, Kuntalaba gets finished. 6 out of 7 of his UFC losses, he's been finished, Lou.
I just want to know that, I want to know that the guy that doesn't watch soccer is telling me who is going to win the fucking World Cup.
Sounds good to me, prop. I don't watch it either, bro. I will watch the World Cup, though.
So how about this? Cool. You like Germany? Cool. Give me every other team.
Germany versus the field.
Okay. You like Germany? Great.
And who did they pick as their foe? The world.
The world. Thank you, Norm. And then they had that scraggly crackly. He's like, that guy that ran here. Yeah. If I know anything about Germany, it's they love David Hasselhoff.
True, they still do.
God, he is the best. No, see, there we go. Norm. Look, I was just watching the other day. I'll just interrupt. So if you guys love Norm, and if you're watching the show, you probably like Sean. I just from knowing you briefly on the internet, if you've never watched Norm shit, Sean V, go watch go search any Norm thing right now, and you're
His
gonna
talk show is still on Netflix.
But Sean, you're gonna go down a YouTube hole where you're gonna be like, I am laughing all goddamn night. Sean, I feel like that's your sense of humor. And Propaholic, I know you're young. Just go watch Norm. Because he's fucking great. But Norm has the blue card jokes, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there's a couple I cannot say on this because Brady will cancel me.
Right.
But he has the one with Nick Swardson.
Oh,
where
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say this one, and if this gets me thrown off, I don't care.
Oh Jesus!
Where he's the number one show on Netflix this week is Jiro Dreams of Sushi. Coming in last, Jiro Nightmares of Ass Rape.
What? That's definitely a Norm joke.
He also had a joke where he's this 21-year-old college kid got arrested and he was tripping on acid, and wanted the cops to cut his cock off. He's I remember when I was young, we didn't need drugs to cut our own cocks off. Norm is the guy. Daz lives in Australia, and
yeah.
Norm Macdonald, sir. Just go look him up. You can't go wrong, guys. You cannot go wrong. So this fight, is it gross from a betting perspective? Sure, because I'm going to lose whatever bet. So, I made a crazy contrarian bet here. Crazy contrarian.
Goes to decision?
I took Kuntalaba by decision. Just because, it was crazy-ass odds. I'm all right, I'll just take a fucking shot. Prop, trust me. Propaholic, I will send you a link that will you'll laugh at. You'll be like, Jesus Christ, this is hysterical. Propaholic, I will send you a link as soon as the show's over. Like, here, start here. Like, he got fired from Saturday Night Live for just making OJ jokes. They're like, do me a favor, don't make OJ jokes. And he's like, well,
it smells like fish in here. What is that? Some kind of code?
Well, he gets in jail and he's like, you know what the worst part of that was?
The lack of respect.
Yeah, I mean,
well, that was the second worst.
Well, there was another part. That was the worst. But the disrespect, I'm going to go to the warden.
Disrespect hurt the second most.
Yeah, that was the second worst part. The other part was not great, but the disrespect. So, here's the thing. You have to roster both.
You have to, because it sucks.
It. But like I talked about, like underdogs I love. Kuntalaba, man, like
yeah, exactly.
Because his win condition is like 120 points. Because it involves
7,400.
But it involves like his win condition is like 4 takedowns in the first and a ground and pound.
Yep.
Like I saw Propaholic saying submission, and like I don't hate that either. But it's only if you like the Nchukwu side. Kutyaba's not like. Look, I saw Kutyaba's first professional fight against the Proletariat Bear of Moldova. And like, I don't know if you guys can find that tape. I paid beaucoup bucks. But the Proletariat Bear of Moldova is like a badass. And Kutyaba fucked him up. Be. Former Chikara wrestler. Like, it's a badass man. Bear. It's a badass bear.
Man, bear, pig.
And like, I don't know if Tommy knows this. I think it's the bear that like troubles Larson and his fucking dad in the woods in the Poconos. Like, that's the bear my buddy's always trying to shoot. And he's never going to shoot him because he's
now I'm picturing John Candy in the Great Outdoors.
Like, no joke. There's been this joke for 7 years. Tommy knows this, where my buddy Greg, CJ, Revenge Elephant's roommate, keeps saying he can beat up a bear. And like it's evolved, and I'm like, well, how big is the bear? And he's like, are we in like a house? Are we in the woods? Like things evolved. And like there's no scenario to me where the bear's not minus 200 at worst. Like there's no scenario. And he's like, it's 145-pound black bear, dude. I'm 300 pounds. I'm like, right. I'm like, okay, so it's minus 300.
Yeah, right.
Like the bear's gonna
45, yeah, minus.
And then like I'm an expert handicapper, so here's my handicapping, dude. It's a fucking bear. Like that's why you lose. Like, and he's like, "What are the Bears' odds against you?" I'm like, minus 5,000.
Oh yeah, we're in Kayla Harrison territory.
Jeez, eviscerate the proletariat is right. Like
that sounds like a great album name.
But anyway, Kuntalaba, like. So these guys combined have cost me like 85 units. See, Daz, I don't like that bet. I like Kuntalaba round 1 KO. But if this thing gets to the second round, Jesus Christ, D1 division wrestler Kennedy, Bo, Nickel, and Chukwe might sub him. So look, you have to roster it. But you have to bet that. So I have a bet that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna do fight doesn't start round 3 at minus 175, and I may just bet Kuntalaba round 1 KO and Kennedy round 2.
Oh,
like
geez.
I don't know how else. Well, I don't know how else to bet it. Like
right,
but it's the co-main event, and I'll be drunk by that point. Like so I'm gonna bet it. So I'm gonna bet it.
There you go. And at that point, guys, we have made it to.
Finally want to have a very different and good betting perspective in the community. But
there you go, Derek.
Start this one off, sir.
Derek Lewis going against, as Uncle Wheezy calls him, Nosferatu, Sergey Spivak, and that's probably the best nickname I've ever heard.
I love that he calls him that.
Oh, it's so perfect, Wheezy. It's so perfect. Thank you for that.
I did. Where is Daryl watching? Yo, my buddy height _hype on Twitter. My friend Daryl, cool ass dude, friends with Tommy, the 4 horsemen of the real life, me, Tommy, Daryl, and Pat. We will be
I thought you were going to say his other brother, Daryl.
No, my buddy Daryl, the nicest dude. His daughter is great. She's got the coolest shades. You've never seen a set of frames that are more boss. His kids are cool. One day I will train his son to beat up Tommy's kid, except that Tommy's kid is like a total. He's already a monster. He's already out of control. Like,
yeah, I heard he put the hooks in you earlier today.
Oh my god, he's unstoppable. I tried to choke him out from behind. And he's like, "Get off me!" And then like just reverse me,
threw you around like Bam Bam.
Like he scored 110 DraftKings points while he was playing shuffleboard. It's like wild, dude. He just like reversed me, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, look at me, like crush this fool." And like I used to be able to do the thumbs up like Holland and get out of the hold. No, he's like, "Nope."
Not anymore.
No, because now he's watching Bo Nickel and he's like, oh no. He's like, oh no, you're gonna no, Daryl, follow height_hype. He's doing really cool stuff with like college athletes, like getting the NIL deals. Yeah, see,
nice.
Hold on, Tommy. What are the odds? Bo Nickel versus your kid. Give me like over a minute. That before Tommy Jr. chokes him out.
Oh shit.
I don't know. So go ahead. Sorry. But hype. Tommy, tell Daryl. Tell him right now. I am giving him free press.
There you go.
Can we videotape this? Tommy, can we tape this? Can we like?
Oh, it's going on YouTube. I think you can tape it.
No, Tommy. Next time, like he chokes me out, can we tape this?
Oh. Yeah, that has to go.
Well, I know, but
on Twitter,
it's child labor. Like, can we? Like, is his? I don't want to say his wife's name on the air, but his wife, by the way, was the 1,000th follower.
True.
Of MMA Engine. If she's cool with us exploiting him for this, like, let him choke me out. Let him beg for Bo Nickel to come on the channel.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I have no shame.
Yeah, Derek Lewis. Let's finish this card off, Lou, in a big way. The highest owned fight of the card, Derek Lewis at 7,000 going against Sergey Spivak, 9,200. 30% for Lewis, 38% for Spivak. I'm probably going to be 100% owned on this fight, Lou. I just haven't figured out where I'm going to put my ownership. Spivak, the best DraftKings score on the card. He's made the optimal lineup 3 out of his past 5 fights. He's also $1,000 over his average salary, and Derek Lewis is $800 under his average salary. I can't say anything about Derek Lewis that you guys don't already know. Obviously, knockout king. That's his road, his path to victory. That's his path to the optimal lineup. Probably someone's getting KO'd in this fight. I would be highly surprised if this went to decision. So I think you have to roster one of them. I probably agree with you, Sean. Spivak all day. I'll probably be like 70-30 on this fight. Actually, the field's at 30% on Lewis. That means I'll probably be, wow. Well, I guess I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to be over or under. I'll either be 50-50 on this fight or like 85-15. That's how I'm going to play it. So I'll just have to make that call. Probably closer to the 85-15 mark. I like Spivak here. Lewis could bonk him, though. It is very possible. So you got to get him in your lineup as well. How do you want to finish this one off, Lou? What do you think? Are you 100% owned like I'm thinking about on this one?
Yeah. I am.
Fight goes to decision, he wants to know.
No. Who
plus 450, 500.
Oh, it's like, well, it's minus 750 for it to end, like, so it's probably like plus.
It's like plus 460.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a little different betting angle here, all right?
Let's do it.
So I think so objectively from DraftKings, it's Spivak or nothing, because traditionally Lewis is so KO or buffs that, like,
100%. He averages 80 points.
So here's how I'm gonna bet this. All right. And I'm not like, it's almost like I'm laughing at myself with this, but like I just don't know how else to do it. All right.
Let's do it.
So this whole like thing about how Lewis he's never lost in the Apex.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He's 6-0. It's like,
how is that even possible?
well, I don't know why you're saying it like
I
that.
guess he's
like,
been losing in Houston, I guess.
Oh, he's terrible in Texas.
He's been losing out of the Apex. That's why.
Right, but if you look at it, he's in a short cage. Like, obviously, this favors it. So here's how I'm going to tell you guys to bet this. And then, by the way, before we leave, can we talk about Thanksgiving?
Let's do it.
Okay. So just here's how I'm going to bet this fight. You know, if you guys are here for like crazy betting advice, I apologize. Because you know that like we're just crazy people here and like we have a good time. Like I bet everything I tell you. I do have I'll post this. I did bet that Sherman Kuntalaba double yam bag parlay.
Oh wow.
$5 to win 2,100. Well, how the fuck do I not bet that? Dude, if I hit that, Tommy, this is Tommy's quote. If I hit that, I'm the CEO of Twitter. Like I'm totally like the CEO of this piece. So here's how I'm going to bet this fight. I want to root for Lewis.
Yeah.
And don't you?
Oh yeah.
If anybody in the chat's like, "Oh man, I'm a really big Sergey."
No one roots for Nosferatu.
If any of you guys root for that, like, dude, go away. Oh, you know, and Weezy appreciated me saying like, "Hey, he's got to return my Huey Lewis in the news tape." So I'm going to give you like a 30-second analysis of this fight for real and then how I'm betting it. Do you know how you beat Lewis? Like for real? He's King Hippo. You can't hit him in the face.
Right.
You hit him in the body. I don't know that I trust. Okay, bye. I don't know if I trust Sergey Spivak to have the best game plan yet. He's improving, sure. But like, I can't not think of the decision he had against Oleinik in terms of like a horrible game plan.
He throws the lowest amount of body strikes per minute in the entire division.
So here's what I'm going to suggest to you guys if you want to bet this fight. And if you're watching this, you want to bet it. Don't bet it pre-fight. Bet Lewis at the end of every round.
There you go.
Because he's probably going to be plus 350 or better after round 1. He's probably going to be like 8-1 after round 2. And he's only going to get higher. And here's the thing. I'm not saying this like to be like a weirdo. We've seen Lewis carry his power late in the fights. The motherfucker looks tired when he gets in the cage. So we've seen him win in round 5. We've seen
the
him
last possible second.
So we've never seen Spivak have a late fight. So like, look, if Spivak hasn't hit him in the body in the first round, like if he went takedown and just kind of like screwed around, he's going for subs. I love Lewis's odds. It means the game plan's wrong.
Yep.
I will ladder the fuck out of Lewis in this fight. Like,
I don't mind that at all.
I mean, I get that, but this is a fight that he can win.
Agreed.
Like the Pavlovich fight, he's like a Russian dude that's like a killer, and then gone. I forgive that. Like,
yeah.
Am I doing any shoey bets? Well, let me put this up. So I'm paying off a shoey bet to Blood Money, but Pat and Johnny have 2 shoey bets on this card. Because all I know is everybody copies what I'm doing. Because I'm fucking beast. No, like they have some shoey bets. Dude, tomorrow's going to be so easy. Look, Sean, I'm not disputing that he folds. But I'm telling you this right now. The longer this fight goes, we've seen Lewis carry his power late. Sean, say it in chat. What odds would you need live to bet Lewis? Like what's worth it to you where you think this is a viable bet? Because to me, if you're giving him 8-1, 9-1 live, for a guy that like, yeah, he can be taken down. If he's not sustaining damage, and just land a shot. So, Sean, I'm like, what odds do you think you need live to hammer him? Because I think that's like kind of the thing. Like, let's say this fight gets to the 4th round, and I don't think it's inconceivable Because Spivak's not like a dude who takes you down, like is immediately like getting top position, getting subs.
Yep.
If it's just annoying for Lewis,
he could just stand up.
But like, let's say this gets in the 4th round and Lewis is 20-1 live.
Oh my goodness.
But you don't?
I mean, you'd have to.
Kiwi's telling me not to drink from shoes, but like, I agree.
That is great advice.
See, and by the way, and like Nandalal has a good point. I'm telling you right now, like I realize that you guys don't come to me for like the hottest takes, but if you watch my other videos that I do about like soccer and NFL, I actually know how to like handicap. I love doing this.
Thank you so much, Kiwi. And yeah, please don't drink from shoes, guys.
Sean, that's my point. I don't disagree. So what I'm asking you is, what live number do you need? But the only way Lewis ever gets hurt is when they fucking go to the body.
Yep.
Like
shut off switch down there.
Except for the Tuivasa fight, but actually Tuivasa hit him with like a couple of body shots in that exchange. Like,
true.
So
I agree.
So what I'm saying, so from a DK perspective, I mean, honestly, you have to go like 90% Spivak.
You'd have to. But everybody's
betting
on
perspective.
Spivak.
But here's the thing. But if you're playing both, if you're betting and doing DFS, it's even more incentive to bet Lewis. You're like, cool.
True.
Because you can guarantee yourself like tons of money.
Yep. That is going to do it, guys. We polished off the 12-fight card. What did you have to say about Thanksgiving, Lou?
So, I've done this is my 11th video of the week. I'm like exhausted. I am going to do a video for the channel on Tuesday. Past Tuesday, like, leave me alone. Like,
yep.
Thursday is my birthday. And then Friday, I'm going to the bar and watching England just destroy the U.S. in the World Cup. I'm going to do a bigger video about like thanks, but while we're here, I wanted to say like some of you guys like show up every week and like we're not like the biggest show on the internet. And like, look, this isn't even a gambling show at this point. This is like, is Rob drunk and is Monk going to deal with it? Like, and we're here for it. Like
oh yeah.
So all you guys that show up every week, I'm not going to name all you guys by names, but all you guys that show every week, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, I'm 9.5 months into doing YouTube. I wanted to quit a couple months in. Monk refused to let me. He's like, fuck you, dude. You are not quitting this goddamn thing. And I'm blowing up all over the goddamn place. And I have Monk to thank for that. I am so grateful for Monk. I'm so grateful for you guys in the chat. Like, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, I love the ball busting. Thank you so much for getting us this far. I don't count shows that we've done. Everybody's like, it's our 50th show. I'm going to have to go and like count how many fucking shows we've done.
Yep.
Because we got to be getting close. We will hit that in like January.
It's got to be close.
Thank you guys so much for getting us like this far. And like, please, if we don't talk to you, please be safe on the holiday season.
Yes, please.
Don't drive drunk, for God's sakes.
We have Ubers now, guys. It's not like it was back in the day.
Your Uncle Lou has made that mistake twice and paid for it dearly. Like, I'm just telling you, like, long time ago, but like, please be safe, enjoy your holiday, eat turkey, and send me birthday presents. Because at least send me double what you guys sent me last year.
That would be the only way to do it. Lou, that was very, very well said. Couldn't have said it any better myself. And thank you. This is the most fun show I do every single week. I look forward to it more than anything else for chat and for Mr. Lou Betya. So the MMA Engine wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him. So guys, let's all thank Lou and thank everybody else as well. Wheezy, Brady, everybody in this chat who I consider friends as well now.
And Wheezy, give me back my Loverboy tape and my Huey Lewis news tape, you son of a bitch.
He needs it. He needs it. So guys, we will wrap up there. Like Lou said, please be safe. We want to see you over we got 3 more fights to go over before the end of the year. So be safe out there this weekend. I know Wednesday is the biggest bar night of the whole year. So
amateur hour.
Amateur hour, as my dad used to say. Yep. So just be safe out there. Call yourself some Ubers or get yourself a sober friend like your boy right here. That said, guys, I want you all to enjoy.
I'm calling Monk, literally.
I'll come get you.
Hold on. Hey, Tommy. we're both calling Monk.
Yeah, we'll see if I answer.
He's like, I'm gonna come out to PA and visit you guys. Well, now you got a job, son. Drive me and Tommy around.
Exactly.
You got a job.
On that note, thank you guys. I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you in 2 weeks for UFC Orlando.